Welcome, everyone. So glad that you guys are here and joining us. I see we've got a great group here. Thanks for joining us, Britt Brett 3000. So glad that you're able to watch us on the YouTube channel. Whether you are inside of our ultimate support group for online tutors and watching us or on YouTube, welcome. Today's an exciting day because we get to feature an amazing success story. And you guys are just going to be riveted every single moment, so stay tuned. We've got here Robert Travers. He is from Maine, and he is an online math tutor, and he specializes in calculus, otherwise known as the Calculus King. In fact, what's really cool about Robert is that when he was going through calculus, he was known as the curve buster, because every time, he took a test, he did so well in it, it killed the curve for everybody else. And that's what he helps his students be able to do as well, because you know what? We should be earning our grades and not expecting them to be given to us. So awesome stuff. I love what Robert does. Congratulations and welcome to the Four Figures a Month Club.
Thank you, Joanne. I'm really happy to be here and happy to be the newest member of the Four Figures a Month Club.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so excited too because you and we got to meet just recently. We went to Orlando to a conference together, and it was just awesome just to be able to hang out and hear more of your story about what you do. And I love when I get to have those moments with people. And it was so cool because I remember just kind of like watching your head kind of think as you were like on the trip and really be like focusing on, okay, where am I going to go next and what am I going to do? And you had some awesome, revelations, I think, through that trip.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was also great to finally meet you in person as well as pick your brain about a few things.
Yeah. And it's so funny because people think that I'm like I'm going to be a completely different person, but you found that I was actually the exact same person that I am here as I am in person.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe amplified a little more.
Oh, I'm all right. Bring it. Amplified a little more in real life. Yeah, I do like to have a lot of fun. So, fun is my jam, and I do like to get excited about things and get energized. And we were at a conference where we were getting re-energized, and that was the cool part because you got to see me like just go through my own thought process of like what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So really awesome. So I remember you went through our Jumpstart program. How long ago was it that you went through the Jumpstart program the first time?
What was it, about a year ago?
I think so. It was like about a year ago.
It actually ended a year ago around now.
Okay. And then as you kind of went through that, and I remember, like, for those of you that are watching this and you're part of the Jumpstart program right now, know that sometimes the first time you go around, it's a little tougher, as you go through the process and start putting this in. You ended up during that program, you got one person who contacted you that was a scammer, right? Through like Craigslist or something. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it was tutors.com actually. So I got a message saying, hey, my son needs tutoring. I don't remember what it was in, but it was I think it was like algebra or geometry. And so I said, hey, I can help him. Would you like to schedule a free consultation? And he said, what if I just send the check directly to you? But I want you to take the check, cash out your payment, and then send the rest back to me. And it's like, that sounds strange. Right. And the thing is, he never gave me any information about his child or anything like that. He just said, take this check, take out your fee, and then send it back because I think it was my nanny or my lawyer needs the rest. And it's like, no. And he was very insistent about giving him my address. So I said, okay. And me not knowing anything, I sent him my P.O. box. Sure. Because that's where all my mail goes because I don't have a mailbox outside, or I didn't at the time. And he said, no, I want your physical address. I'm like, no.
No, that was smart. Know that there are people out there, and it is really sad. I wish they weren't out there, but there are people that do target tutors and have scams. So just be on the lookout. I mean, as long as you're like doing your due diligence and you're continuing to ask questions about the child, like tell me more about what they're struggling with. Somebody who really has a child will answer those questions. Somebody who doesn't is trying to scam you will harp about this check thing, right? And they won't make it anything about their child. So that definitely is a good sign. And then at the very end of the course, you ended up getting your very first student, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
And I still have him today.
No way. Really?
Yeah. I had, so he was struggling with geometry, and because he got tutoring, he ended up going from failing to a B in geometry, and then he aced algebra, and now he's taking pre-calc as a junior.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, then, it's really nice to see that these kids are staying on a little bit longer term, even in high school. For those of you that are like, oh, I'm so content specific. And, do you have people who ask you for help in other courses other than calculus?
Oh, absolutely. I think right now I only have 2 or 3 in calculus, and the rest are either algebra or pre-calc.
Yeah. And those are subjects you feel comfortable with, and you can say yes to them, and all is good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely. And then you can kind of continue on with them throughout their high school career too, because, it's like one course kind of goes into the next, and those that you feel comfortable with, you can go on and teach and all of that. Now, did you have any students before you joined Jumpstart? Had you had any of your own students before?
So I've been tutoring off and on since about 2010.
Okay.
But once I joined Jumpstart, I was basically restarting from square one.
Okay. Were you doing in person or online since 2010?
In person.
Okay. And so really like this whole like doing it online was a whole new kind of venture for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the thought 2 years before, but it never really materialized until last year.
And what helped you make your decision to join Jumpstart and really make it materialize for yourself?
Well, I was working for AAA at the time, and I was like, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So I decided, hey, I want to get back into teaching, but the last place when I left teaching, it was a complete nightmare. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, what's the next best thing to teaching? And so tutoring came, and then I found you in March of last year when the pandemic hit, and then that's what really led to my decision, because I thought, hey, Joanne might be able to help me get students and teach again.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you had the thought in your idea, and you had come from the classroom and you didn't really enjoy that experience. And then you started kind of just doing like other kinds of jobs and keeping tutoring as your side hustle. And now tutoring is your main income, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
And to say I didn't like it in the classroom, I think is an understatement.
You know what? Some of us are meant to be there and some of us are not meant to be there. And it just really depends on, some people, they do really great with classroom management and they don't mind any of that stuff. I felt like I was spending so much time with classroom management that I didn't actually get the opportunity to teach, which is what I went into teaching for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, I enjoyed teaching, but none of the other stuff that came with it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It was just between bureaucracy and classroom management, which I will not be the first one to tell you I was not very good at. Or, I'm sorry, I will be the first one to tell you that I wasn't good at classroom management.
Oh, I wasn't either, year one. I was probably put on so many lists that I didn't even know how many lists I was on. I was like on watch guard. Do you know what I mean? Like I actually had like all of the experienced teachers coming on in and trying to give me advice and everything. And I'm like, I just need help when this kid is like struggling. Like, what do I do? Like, can you tell me what to do? And they couldn't tell me what to do. And I had some person who came into my classroom and was trying to like reorganize the desks to make it work better. I had the tiniest little classroom you could imagine. It was a nightmare. And like today, I feel like it's such a blessing to be able to get to do what we do, be able to do it online, to be able to work with kids from all over the world. And you don't have to deal with all of that classroom management and It's so different. I love it.
Oh, oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when I left the classroom 3 or 4 years ago, I was literally in tears because
Yeah.
I had worked to teach since I was 10 years old, and I
Yeah.
thought, and
Now
I was
what?
devastated. Now it's the greatest decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah. And we were talking about that beforehand, how sometimes when you're going through something, it feels like it's the absolute worst thing that could possibly be happening to you. And then later on, as you get older, you realize it was the best thing that could have happened to you in that moment and in that time. That like you needed to go through that process to really find yourself and what you were meant to be doing.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so then, so you ended Jumpstart, and then you decided to join us inside of Insiders. What motivated you want to keep going with the Insiders?
The funny thing is, the when I you had a I think I got an email from you before Jumpstart saying, "Hey, if you join the Insider Secrets Club, I'll throw in Jumpstart
Oh, that's
program."
right. Yeah, yeah,
So I decided, hey, I'm really serious about my business, so sign me up. So I
yeah,
signed up for a lifetime membership, and to be honest, it's probably one of the best $1,000 I've spent.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that. Sometimes I make some accommodations for people. I'm like, yeah, like come on, let's do this. And you were really serious, and that's I think there's a difference. Usually people just start with Jumpstart, and then they move on into the Insider Secrets Club, and it's like that next natural progression because it we take you like a little bit deeper through the process. But I think I could tell how serious you were about really making your business work for you. So that was, and I happened to have the doors open at that point in time for Insiders. So I think that's where that like it was like kismet, like everything like fell into place all at the right time, and then you're like, I'm in this, and so you've been in it for the long haul. What has your experience been like as you've gone through the Insider Secrets Club?
Oh, yeah, it definitely paid for itself a few times over.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the weekly Q&A calls. I love the mastermind calls that we have. What else do I like being able to access your trainings live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love when we get to see you too. So it's awesome, and I get to see you. You guys, he is like the most committed person I think on the YouTube channel. He's always there commenting and watching and taking in the information that he can take so that he can apply it to his business. And it's so cool every time. I'm like, oh, yep, there's Robert. There he is. I love it. So somebody who is in Jumpstart and they're thinking or considering about joining the Insider Secrets Club, what would you say to them?
Do it. It's well worth the investment. You're going to get a lot out of it. And I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, it continues. Like you said, it's an investment. It continues to help you be able to make more money. Like there's only so much information that you can learn as you go through Jumpstart, and at that point like you're taking in the information the best that you can, but then some things we need to revisit and some things we need to dive even deeper into, or some things we need to just remind ourselves about, and they're things that often can get forgotten, like setting our goals, or just how to get organized, and all of these like little things that we kind of take for granted that other businesses already have in place, and you're constantly getting that, and along with the masterminds and networking. I know you've been really networking with a lot of people inside of the group. How has the networking been going for you?
Oh, that's my number one source of students.
Oh, I love it. I love
I
it. So
mean,
you're able to make those connections and then they're able to refer you. I love it.
definitely. I know, going back to the Insider Secrets Club for a second, I've heard it said by a few people, myself included, that when it comes to referrals, I'm more likely to refer someone in the Insider Secrets Club.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know that they're serious about their
Oh
business.
yeah,
You've also
absolutely.
had an opportunity to build trust. A lot of them too have gone through Jumpstart, so you're like, okay, they've got some good business practices in place, and yeah, there's definitely that level of trust that begins to happen as people get to see you more and they get to connect with you. And yeah, even doing like these YouTube lives, people get the opportunity to kind of get to know you a little bit more, right? And be like, oh, he does calculus, awesome, and like you're already on their radar because of that. So
And here comes my cat.
yep. Oh, hello, Kitty. What is your cat's name?
His name is Trump.
Oh, Trump. Trumpy Trump. Is he
Yeah.
named after the president?
Yes, he is.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a kitty cat. Oh.
Literally all my students have met Trump at this point.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it. Look at that big fluffy tail.
I know, right?
Such a big fluffy tail. I love it. I love it. Yes, and Maria was saying like you have taken the information here and you have made it your own and you have followed the steps and you have made it happen. Isn't that awesome? Like when you look back on yourself, um, and like what you've been able to accomplish, like doesn't it just feel incredible that you don't have to rely on places like tutors.com anymore or some of those other websites?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, the good thing, I mean, it was a good start, but now that I don't have to rely on those anymore and I can just do my own thing without having to give any commissions or give any referral fees, that's awesome.
I know. I know. It really is awesome. And I think that, and it's not bad in the beginning to have to do those kinds of things because you're getting started, right? And it gets experience, all of those great things. But if you could find another way where you didn't have to utilize those kinds of resources and tools and you could get students all on your own with networking, with you even have a podcast now, all those kinds of things, I think it definitely has a much, much better feeling overall. Like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, I'm really doing this. Like, I've got this business. It's amazing and it's wonderful. And you decided this time around, I'm going to join Jumpstart again.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell us what your experience has been like now going through it the second time.
I definitely feel like I've figured out some things that I missed the first time around. And it's really nice being able to go back and do the steps again to build my business even more because I have a few ideas of what I want to do now that I'm starting to get more and more booked.
Yep. You know what? Yeah. And so then that really helps to clarify, okay, like maybe I heard this idea, but I didn't remember it, or I wasn't in a place to apply it because I didn't have any students.
Right.
Right. And so now it's like, now that you have students, some of it is like, it's hitting home a little bit more and you're like, oh, okay, let me do this, let me do this. I love it. I think it's awesome when people get that opportunity to go through it a second time because there's nothing like it, especially if you were like newbie, like just out of the gate, never really had any of your own online tutoring students or knew how to do that. I think that it's a really great opportunity to start stepping on, into thinking about doing it again because, at first we're just really focused, I think, on getting all the assignments done. Right. It's like, okay, yeah. I got to get all the assignments done. I got to watch all the videos. I got to get all the assignments done. We're like, okay, I really got to focus here and get all this done and tap into my calls and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes we can lose sight of like the whole purpose, which is let's be taking every single action we possibly can to get students and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm so excited for you because you're almost, if you keep going the way you've been going, you're probably going to get another student over the next week and be up to 8 students as you've gone through the program so far. Oh yeah. And it's funny. It's been 1 student week 1, 2 students week 2, 4 students week 3. And if my math is correct, if I continue on that rate, I'll have 8
8 this week.
Yeah, wow. That'll be incredible. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you and so proud of where you've come with your business. For somebody who let's go here. Let's kind of chat about like the Insider Secrets Club for a little bit, and you know, have there been any big game changers for you as you've gone through the Insider Secrets Club?
Oh yeah. Again, being able to talk to other tutors on a weekly basis on different things,
Yeah.
being able to meet with you directly every week and ask questions.
Yeah.
Those are two of the biggest game changers I think that the program has to offer.
Yeah. And so somebody who is just kind of sitting there like, I'm not sure if this is the right next step for me, what would you say to them?
Again, it is an investment, but even if you take 50% out of the Insider Secrets Club, it's going to pay for itself several times over.
Yeah, because there's lots of different resources and tools for people. You just got like the good old question answer call, because look, there's times where you just want like a live person to answer your question. You don't want it to be through, chat, because it kind of loses some of it. Or sometimes you need a tutorial, right? Like on how to do something. And then there's, each month we have a weekly training. So we have a different focus for that training, and you kind of go through and you always have access to that training. If it's not the right training for you at the moment, you can go back to it when it is the right moment, and you know that it's there because that's what we were working on that month. And then we've got the live calls with different coaches where you get to work on some long-term strategies, like either blogging or Instagram or video, and being able to add that into the mix. So yeah, there's a lot of resources available for people to make it a really awesome experience, for them, and know that like a lot of these trainings, you guys, other coaches are charging $2,000-$3,000 for. And Robert and I got to see that as we were in at the conference. I'm like, okay, you guys, just so you guys know, a lot of these people who have courses, they're not selling them for the prices I'm selling them for. Like Jumpstart would absolutely be like a $3,000 or $4,000 program from anybody else. But that's not what I charge. And that's because I also know that where people are coming from. They're either leaving their teaching job, or they're starting a new career, or, it's a different situation than, people who are working for corporate businesses or attracting those kinds of clients that have, 6-figure incomes already. I know that we're dealing with somebody that, might be coming from a teaching income versus a, a 6-figure income. So, we've got a different crowd. So I don't price it at those prices, which people can't afford it, because I do really want to help people be able to get the results that they're looking to get inside of their business. But it can be crazy how much other people are charging for these kinds of things. Hey.
Oh yeah, definitely. Plus, the other good thing about the Insider Secrets Club is that lifetime 50% off.
Yep, absolutely. And you get to utilize that with any program that we have moving forward, and it continues to take on those savings and make it very doable for people. Well, I'm so glad that you're inside of our community. And you're inside for life, which is awesome. Lifetime is definitely the way to go. And we are awesome together, right? Like we become better together as a community versus it just being like, us being solo and lonely and doing this thing all by ourselves. We've got a group of people that are here to root us on, cheer us on, refer us because they know that you're the best tutor. And that's awesome. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what I first thought tutoring was me against everyone else. And then I realized as time went on and I did more in this community, I realized it's not really about competition. There are so many students I could never even begin to get all of them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that when we stop coming at tutoring as, I have to compete against all these other tutors and I need to price my services lower, that and we start collaborating and we start realizing, no, I can charge more for my services. I can collaborate with the right people. I can, build these relationships, and it can help drive my business forward. Amazing things happen. So I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
glad that amazing people like you are inside of our community and you're having great success. 4 figures a month. Now, in order to get into the 4 figures a month club, you guys, our members have to have at least done it 3 times, in their career. This isn't just like a one-off thing, like, oh, they just got like 4 figures last month or 1 month only. Like, this is something that it's an ongoing thing for them. Like, this is a sustainable income for them that they can utilize to reach their own financial goals. And what do you see your business looking like in the next 5 years, Robert?
Well, I plan on getting fully booked a few times over, but I'm also thinking about starting group tutoring.
Mm.
And in fact, I was talking to you about that in Orlando, about an idea that I had that I'm not really ready to release yet. But I remember going through that conversation in that big ballroom, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I just realized, that's a great direction to head in.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I think you'll be able to charge less per student, but make more per hour. And so, a really cool tool. Stay tuned. This Thursday, you guys, we are going to be featuring Schoolified, which I believe is an incredible platform for math tutors like Robert who want to do group classes. You're going to get to see why. You're going to get to see some pretty awesome features that this tool has that no other tool has. And it is in beta. So it is a completely free platform at this point in time. So stay tuned for that. You are going to love it, Robert. It's going to make your dream come true faster than you ever could imagine. So awesome stuff. I'm really excited. Thanks for joining us today, you guys. And again, congratulations on making it into the 4 Figure a Month Club. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.